The title is self-explanatory. I'm showing you guys how to analyze flips by using the MLS, looking at pictures, estimating your renovation costs, and throwing it into a deal tracker so that you can have a good guesstimate, like a safe guess at how much you think you're allowed to offer for this property and how much profit you think you can actually attain, right? So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Tom McCormick. I'm a real estate investor here in Windsor, Ontario. I've done flips, burrs, multifamily, a little bit of wholesaling, and I also invest in the States cross-border in Detroit, doing a flip there, and also in Cleveland, Ohio, do some multifamily, things like that. And I'm here to show you what I've learned so far and what I'm continuing to learn along the way, my wins and my losses. So comment, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for other videos in the future as well. But to get into it, let's share my screen. All right, so we got Windsor here, and you can see the outline. Right now I've preset some of my filters, and what I did is actually typed in contractor, because sometimes you're looking for like handyman specials. Sometimes I type in TLC, all those buzzwords that a realtor puts in the description to say that, oh man, this property needs some love. Because again, you don't want to buy a property that has no lift. If you buy a property that is already done up, what's the point of renovating it some more? You're not going to get that you're not going to force the appreciation and force that value up. So anyways, I searched contractor here, and what do you know? I have a property, 3104 Academy. And so if we go into this deal here, let's go here, boom. You see right off the bat, it's a nice brick house. It looks decently maintained. Maybe a couple windows look kind of old that might need to be replaced. I can't really tell if that's the screen or not, but hopefully some of the pictures will be able to tell. So before we get into it, I'll kind of do a once over with the pictures and explain my thought process as I'm going, what I like, what I don't like, and then we'll go the second pass through and actually total up how many renovations I think are going to be there. So I like that it's brick. Vinyl can get weathered and old and need to be replaced. In brick, you see everything that is there. Some of this vinyl can hide issues. The roof looks fairly okay, to be honest. Maybe just needs a little cleaning from all the leaves. I love that it's a nice paved driveway. That's huge. And they got a little garage in the back. That's nice as well. Having that garage is a nice value add. Well-maintained lawn. It's also in a good neighborhood, by the way, in South Windsor. That's a great place that you guys want to invest in for sure. They have some bigger lots around there. Great for putting ADUs in the backyard even. Yeah, looks good. Okay, sometimes I look at the steps here, see if there's any cracks in the foundation or if they're kind of set or not, because that can be a tripping hazard. You want to fix those. Honestly, the push looks good. I don't like the awning on the window here. I'd probably pay to get that removed, demo that. And what I'm looking for too, sometimes you're not going to see everything, but again, this is just a quick thumbs up, thumbs down on what I feel like about this property. Some properties you'll see right away, oh man, it's been renovated, and you click off of it. You don't waste any more time looking at pictures. As soon as you see a lot of renovations, you're done. Go to the next one. But here, clearly, boom, crazy green carpet. Like, what the heck? And if anything, it's very unique. It reminds me of like a nice mahogany wood rich study, and has the dark green undertones, leather chairs and whatnot. So definitely we need to replace that carpet. We're going to probably need to paint the walls. It doesn't look like the plaster or the drywall is in disrepair, which is nice. Maybe there's a slight crack in the ceiling, small patchwork. It is an old house after all, but that's fine. I'm not really a fan of this lattice structure here, but to be honest, I wouldn't demo that. I'd just keep it and paint it with the rest of it, because it's not really a value add. And that's in a whole video I can get into later, is what renovations actually make sense. What renovations actually force the value of the property. This is a sidebar, but a lot of times what people do is they put way too much money into a project thinking, oh, this will be nice and add value, but they're doing things that they like. It's not necessarily things that the end buyer might like. So you need to get in the head of the end buyer, get a feel of the market itself and what things are being done in certain areas. So in South Windsor, maybe a pot filler works for like above the stove, but in other areas it doesn't. Maybe you want to go granite in nicer Tecumseh areas on your countertops and quartz. not some kind of crappier version like a vinyl countertop. That's for a rental. So you need to know your market. But I digress. So we know you got to do the carpet, paint. We go here, more carpet. Holy cow. I like that's a big open space for the living room, and kind of, I think it shows here like the dining room's flowing outwards. So that's good. So there's space. Oh, there's your kitchen, I guess. Yeah, so we're going to have to renovate the kitchen, absolutely. New countertops, new everything. Okay, I'm seeing over here that window does look old, so we're going to have to replace some windows. I do believe that now. We can probably save the appliances, to be honest. That's fine. This is something too, what I've done in the past is you can buy the appliances, or you can say, hey, in the listing, we can include the appliances for the end buyer if you tell us what you want. Do you want more silver finishes? Do you want some higher end things? Because then you can roll it up all into your mortgage. But if you buy something that maybe the homeowner doesn't like, that's one extra thing that they're going to use against you when considering other properties. You want to make this thing the best thing for the end buyer and what they like, right? So you don't want to customize it too much. So anyways, new kitchen for sure. We're going to do all that. I would love to see the measurements inside to see if we can add more countertop space anywhere, or at least more cabinetry, but this galley kitchen does look okay. Looks like a decent amount of countertop space, uppers and lowers. What I do too is I would make this larger island so that you can actually stick stools underneath, and they have more countertop space and more living space and more space to eat. And I think that's kind of modern as well. And everyone congregates around the kitchen and around those islands, so it's a big selling feature. I'm going to skip to the bathroom. There's bathroom number 1. This is a 4-bed, 2-bath, by the way. So we're going to replace everything here. Remove all that wallpaper. I wonder if we can just... People have painted tiles in the past, but I would probably try to just replace that. The tub can probably stay. Just maybe potentially have to reglaze it, worst case, but that's fine. We're going to definitely redo the fixtures as well. Coming on to the bedrooms. Yeah, same old, more carpet we rip up. I hope there's some hardwood underneath, because that's always nice, depending. But a lot of times too, you can put vinyl and just slap it on there, and a lot of people do appreciate that just because it looks new, kind of like those condos, the new builds. But I would say something: don't use the gray flooring. That's out. That's not trendy anymore as of 2025. Use more of those woody tones. We're kind of coming back to those woody, earthy tones again, or even beige. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to replace some closet doors and probably some doors themselves. So we're gonna factor that in. We're gonna have to redo some trim potentially. Actually, looking at that, I don't think we need to replace the trim. We just need to paint the trim, because that's another cost save right there. Okay, we're gonna have to redo a lot of light fixtures as well. Maybe in certain areas we could do pot lights potentially, but I'd love to see what way the joists are running. And that, like the ceiling joists, I should say, because it's easier to route than other directions. Oh, we have an attic. Okay. Maybe I wonder if they classify this as like 1 bedroom up here, so it's really a 3+1. Maybe that's the case. I'll have to double check the listing description. So we're gonna have to definitely remove all this wood paneling and put drywall. I don't know if there's insulation behind it, so that's something we would have to do during the walkthrough, to just kind of feel around or look into that knee wall over there to see if anything is insulated. Okay. I like the space though. There's definitely potential. However, this price point right now for $390 or so, I need to see the ARV comps. Yep, here's bathroom number 2. Definitely smaller, but we can work with that. I would definitely remove whatever this table is to make more space, and I think that would help a lot with this. What is this wallpaper though? Holy crap. We're gonna have to redo the ceiling up here, I think. Remove these tiles and put some drywall. Basement, okay. Looks fine. Looks like they actually painted the cement, which is nice. Ceiling height, I'm curious to see. I wonder if it's above 6'8", maybe even in that 7-foot area. Some of these South Walkerville homes are nice for that, because then you can add more living space if you just finish the basement. Fun fact, right now you need 6'5" minimum for your ceiling height when you do basement units and things like that. So that's really good. But in this case, I don't know that really finishing the basement that much would add too much value because it's a lot of mechanical space here. I really need to see and walk the place and see if I can stand up. Judging by that door frame back there, if this is a full door frame, which I don't think it is, you can see it's a little stubby looking. If it's anything below 6'5", it's not really worth it. Okay, we're gonna maybe replace the laundry because those are old as heck. Oh, we do have some living space here. Okay, and it looks like they had a bar, so we're gonna factor in replacing that as well, and redoing the ceiling here with these tiles and drywall. So there's definitely gonna be some demo work in this area. I'd love to also see if there's any water damage or mold or anything behind these panels because sometimes it gets musty and it's good to know. So okay, how do you calculate renovations? You do $7,500 per renovation. Okay, so going through this really quick, we're going to speed run this. $7,500 for flooring, rip out the carpet, whether it be keeping the floors of wood underneath or vinyl. $7,500 for the whole house. To be honest, it's probably a little higher if it's the entire house, but we'll say $7,500 for just this first thumbs up, thumbs down. We're going to definitely paint the entire house because you always want to do a fresh coat of paint. We're going to redo the kitchen, $7,500. We're going to redo both bathrooms, $7,500, $7,500, right? We're going to redo the entire loft space, $7,500. We're going to redo the basement space, assuming that it's good, so that's $7,500. We're at 7 times 7,500. And for now, we're also going to assume that the mechanicals are okay until I check them. I know they do look old, but if they're well maintained, not worth replacing. We're going to assume, just for the sake of argument, also the outside doesn't really need any work, not a lot of love. We're also going to factor in a safety factor on top of that. So maybe another 7,500 for new doors, painting the trim, and new light fixtures. So we're actually at 8 times 7,500. So that's a quick thumbs up, thumbs down, because even if a kitchen is a little bit more than 7,500, things like this small bathroom that I said were 7,500 make up for that, the difference, because maybe this bathroom to renovate it is only $5,000, right? So you can take, you come in high on some, come in low on others, and it kind of evens out. So again, good first gut pass at it. But as I'm talking about this here, I'm thinking because of the level of renovation that we need to do and the ARV that this probably is going to turn out to be in the probably the high 4s, low 5s, because the market's kind of soft right now in Windsor. Maybe mid 5s if we're being generous, mid 5s. It's going to be tough because we have a lot of work to do. But if we go to our calculator here, okay, we're going to say this is 3104 Academy. Normally I put a picture in here. What's the date analyzed? Oops. I don't know why I have it saying March, but we'll put that in here. Boom. List price, $389,900, I believe. ARV, we're going to just assume it's on the high side, $550, just because. So renovations here, we're going to say 7,500 times 8. So we have $60,000 in renovations. Now, how long do I think this is going to take? That's a great question. Let's say it's going to be a 6-month period because I'm even going to say 7 because by the time we're done the renovations, we're going to be going into the slow period, the slow months. And that is concerning because when you're in that October, November, December, the market's really dead. And even right now as it is, the market is slower. So you need to really put a safety factor in there for your carrying costs because this isn't necessarily going to affect the renovations themselves, but you're saying, well, what happens if I've spent all this money and I have to pay my lenders back and keep paying interest while I'm trying to get this sold? So that's why you put a safety factor in. If anything, to be honest with you, I'm saying 8 because I'm just really pessimistic being burned on a couple other flips in the past. So borrowing costs here, I have a calculation, and this borrowing cost is taking the rental number and timesing that by your by the project durations, and then it's also factoring in your carrying costs, so your interest, because right now we're paying 12% interest, right? So I can eventually give this sheet to you guys and you can have it and you don't need to worry. You just have to go in here and modify the amount of interest right here. I'll have to add some notes to make this a little bit more user friendly. Realtor fees here, usually what we're doing is we're saying realtor fees are going to be about 4.5%. So there you have it. And land transfer tax here, we actually have a whole calculation. Don't ask me how I got this, but this is actually how you calculate land transfer. And so we're going to be paying just under $8,000 in land transfer fees for this house. So this is showing us here, and lawyer fees, generally on something like this, it's not large. You say about 3,000 or 4,000, just that is on the high side, to be honest, but it's better to overestimate than underestimate. And so here, we need to factor all this in. It's saying to offer about $416 for this project. And that's assuming, again, the ARV of 550. So in this case, I would definitely want to offer lower, but I would now go and walk the property. What I also want to state is that I have a minimum requirement of $30,000 profit for a project like this. So this is also factored into this 416 number. And so that's what's also factored into this borrowing cost. You see here, I subtracted 30,000 because I'm assuming that's going to be part of the project. So there you have it. There's a quick and dirty way to analyze properties. Oh, I should also show you really quickly. Here's maybe a property that doesn't need as much work. So this is, you see something like this. Yes, it needs paint on the walls. Yes, it has some carpet in some rooms, but for the most part, it's fairly renovated. Like, it's fairly nice to live in. You're probably going to be outbid or outcompeted by some people on this. It's in good condition. Oh, maybe the kitchen needs a bit of love, but at this asking price, it's already at $400,000. This property is not going to go more than $450, let's say, even if I renovated everything. So it's not worth my time. There's not enough lift, right? So that's just something to be aware of. If you come across listings like this one here, which there's only 2 pictures, this one's being sold more for the lot than the property itself. And so this one I probably wouldn't offer on as well, because it's, again, there's not enough lift. So anyhow, I'm kind of petering out on this video, but you can see here that this one is pretty much renovated. It's pretty standard, even though it's a little funky. Not a lot of lift. It's pretty nice. And they actually went nice and they accent walled everything, which is kind of weird. Not my forte, but it is what it is. So if you're renovating properties, you want to know about flipping, or you want to get involved with our projects, reach out to me. I'm happy to help, happy to analyze your deals for you, happy to show you how I've done things, or areas where I've actually messed up and could save you some time. So reach out, let me know, and if you want to see more of these deal analyses, let me know as well, and I'm happy to share. Take care. See you in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye.